guys, today's 7 on Sunday. So excited for today's video because we're going to be talking about bookish buzzwords, and this is something I haven't talked about for like quite a while. Like, I know I did a Top 5 Tuesday topic on this like many years ago, and some of the buzzwords that I have now were in that video, but also I really had to think about this as well. Like, I mean, all topics I do generally have to think about, or some are easy and some are a lot harder, but I was really trying to think of like, what words do I hear in a synopsis, or like from a description, or if it's like a describe this book in 3 words, what would they be kind of situation. And I really like all the ones that I've picked, and I'm sure you will understand all of them because a lot of the time these are all the things that I look for in books. But I'm really excited, and like, please too let me know like some of your like bookish buzzwords that you have, or if you agree with any of the ones that I have. And as always, the creator Grace at G-Swizzel will be linked down below, and the Goodreads group as well if you want to see what topics we're going to be doing in the future, because she always gives them to us a month in advance so you have more time to think about it, which is very extremely helpful. But I'm excited to get into the video. So obviously the first word I have to talk about is circus, because yes, okay, my favorite book, as you would all know, is The Night Circus. So that book has made me obsessed with the circus atmosphere and the circus setting, so I always look for it. So Carnival came out and I was like, shit yeah. And I also have Daughter of the Burning City that is in circus mode, and I also have Freaks, which is circus mode. I have many books that are about circuses that I have not read, which annoys me, but literally if you have any story released and there is a circus in it, I will read it because it's something I like seeing. Next, I want to talk about princess, and I know I could say royalty, but I don't know, like, I really enjoy the princess because you could do like the lost princess, or like princess who's in an arranged marriage, or princess that's fighting for her kingdom. Like, there's a lot more you can do with princess, and the minute that princess is in a description of a book, I know shit's gonna get real. I enjoy it so much. Like, royalty stories really are exciting to me, even though I don't really care about the royal families in our world. Like, obviously I know about them and it's like I appreciate them, but I'm not like one of those people that are really like obsessed with the royal family. But fictional royal families, I'm like, give me 100 stories about them because I love it. And now Sarah J Maas has completely ruined me for any book, because anytime there is fae in a story, I read it because I love it. And even though I always compare it to Sarah J Maas, and even though also every book that she's ever written has fae in it, I will keep reading them. Like, I have many books on these shelves, probably more on like these ones that you can't see. Like, seriously, Sarah J Maas is right here. Like, she has to be one of the forefront shelves on my bookshelves, because fae stories, I just enjoy it so much. And what's really cool about fae is it can be different every single time you read it. The magic systems can be different, the way that they act can be different, the way they look can be different, and also the way that no one ever spells fae the same way twice. Like, I've seen it spelt with 8 letters in a book before, and I could not tell you what it is, but I've seen it be as small as 3 letters and as big as 8. And it's like, okay, so that's one of those unanimous things in society, is we just don't have a standard way to spell it. Every author's like, I'm making my own shit up and we're going with it. I love it. Next, I want to say earth, and I know that seems really, really broad, but I want to say, like, I could say elemental for like magic, but I've always really appreciated the element of earth. And even though it could be a sci-fi thing about going to planet earth, and a lot of things will mention earth, but I love earth magic out of all the elements, and that's the reason why I made Opal an earthling, because I had the opportunity and I took it, because like, shit yeah. But elemental could be more my choice here, but I do love to read books with nature magic, so earth is always involved in that, and it just is something that I know I'm really going to appreciate and like. So if I know there's earth in it, I'ma read it. Next, I want to say book/book, and I know that this is also random because I'm reading a book. Why would I need a buzzword that's also book? But whenever there is characters in books that are writers, or they're publishers, or they're reviewers, or they own a bookstore, or they work in a bookstore, or they just do things that involve books, it makes me happy. Of course, we want to be able to read a book and have the inception of also being a reader who's reading a book about a reader. Like, I think that's really fun. These stories are rarer, but I still really appreciate them, and they always just make me really excited to be a reader, but to also see like a character that appreciates it as much as you do. Like, it is the most fun. Next, I want to say timeline, because I love books that either time travel or go through alternate timelines. This is about having 2 timelines and they branch off from each other, because I'm reading a book at the moment that's doing it. It's killing my soul slowly because like shit's really getting real right at the end of this story, like as we're getting to like the really hard part. I loved branched timelines. It is great. I want more books written about it, but it's also such a like not used story. Like it hasn't been overused yet is probably what I'm more trying to say. Like if there was 100 books that did it, I'd probably be like eh. But I've read quite a few and I enjoy it every single time. But any type of time travel as well in a timeline is always fun, or stories that are like one set in the future, one set in the past, that's great. Just anything about time movement, so good. And lastly, I'm just gonna say romance, and that's basically every book you will ever read, so it's a very easy buzzword. But I just have gotten into adult contemporary and romances a lot more recently, and before romance used to not be a buzzword, I didn't care about that side of things, but then slowly couples started to really get to me with my fantasy stories, and now like I am such a big shipper. Like I will only ship characters though that are already like interacted and stuff. Like I know there's so many fan headcanons and a way that people have everyone wanting to be with everyone, and they always have like their couple ideas and how they ship these things, and they never ever happen because it's not something that these characters actually feel. It's just stuff that people have made up. Like I'm not that type of person. Like I always only really go with the options that an author gives me, and sometimes I'll shit someone that doesn't end up happening and I'm just like, come on, make it canon, and it never happens. But if there's romance, I would definitely 100% read your book. If there's any book out there that could fit all of these buzzwords in one, I'd be like my perfect book completely. I really do love the use of buzzwords. Like this is the main reason why we're able to find books. Like obviously we get recommendations, but if you just Google a book with a circus or a book with romance or a book with different timelines, something's gonna come up because this is how we find things and interact with them as well. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!